giving it to Fisher. Fisher leading the charge for the Red Foxes, trying to go quick to Shazer. She uses the backboard at guard! Shazer gets it to go! Second free throw, misses. But Prickner with the rebound, and he gets a putback to go! It's Bender leading the charge. Had a great first half. He's going to have to continue to do so if the Jaspers want to get back in this game down 11. He tries to go inside to Ruzan. Ball's loose. Ruzan passes out to McLean. McLean hits from three. Jaspers with an answer, down 8 now.
Collins going to lead the charge right by the Fighting Irish bench. Guarded by Burton. Burton tried to get an offensive foul, but it's going to be Allen who takes the three, and he gets it to go on the scoreboard. So Max Allen was 1 for 7 from 3 coming into this game. He's now going to make it 2 for 8. Collins with the ball for the Red Foxes. 8:20 left in this one. Go right to the hole. He gets it to go. And good, he's headed to the free throw line. Marist only down 3 now. Gets double teamed over to Harris. Harris for 3. He hits. Harris for 3. He gets it to go. Marist down by 2. Pasquarelli over to Daughtry now. Daughtry for 3. That one hits. Red Foxes now lead 10-7. Brickner over to Pasquarelli. Pasquarelli for 3. Ties it up at 29.
She's going to take the 3. And good! Carson Zeno gets it to go. Gales lead 13-10 now. Herdo over to D'Angelo. D'Angelo over to Givon. Givon with the basketball. Now going to the left side at the free throw line. Inside to D'Angelo. At the MAC logo. Gets blocked by Lee. Lee pokes it. Still in bounds. Pettit comes down with it. Going with speed to the right side. Passing it over to Terrell. Terrell for 3 off the rim. Back to Shazer. Shazer comes down with it at the free throw line. Over to Fisher for 3. Oh!
Allen back to Brickner. Reverse layup. Rattles right in. Collins with the ball in the corner. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Making a move on Fields. Right to the rack. That one rattles right in for the Red Foxes. Now 29-24 now. Dan Collins comes down with it. To the bucket. Yes! Rattling right in.
Gets a pick. Doesn't take it. Instead goes to the hoop. Passes it out to Price. Price sees an opening. Goes right to the hoop. Rattles right in. Jackson Price with the layup. Now it's tied at 29. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to play. Inside to Coley. Yes. 56-51 now. 18 on the shot clock. Collins with speed. Gets it up. Rattles right in. Down by 1.
Message to Terrell for 3. Right before the shot clock. That's good. Red Foxes 16-10. Cunningham to Fox. Back to Cunningham for 3. Yes! Red Foxes 23-15. Steady now. Floater alert. That's good. 4-2. Just over 7 minutes to play the first quarter. Basketball to Tomasetti. She's going to take the 3. That hits. 20-14 now. Pasquarelli went inside to Allen. Over to Collins. Now to Cooley in the corner for 3. Yes. 5-0. 17:30 remaining in the first half. Now Fields with the basketball right by the Hercules Tires logo. He's going to step back for 3. That's good. Mac logo gets it up and good. Jaden Collins. How about that? 48-39. 13:20 to play.
Pitch for Emery. Emery looks like it's going to fly. Just gets down. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. Emery gets a 2 RBI single for the Red Foxes to increase that lead to 6-1. Judy from Saratoga Springs, New York, played at Holy Cross before coming to Marist as he gets another K.
My goodness.
So starting things off with 2 strikeouts for Judy. Is gone! Home run for Conrad. 2-run shot, making it 7-1 for the Red Foxes.
1-2, 2 outs, 8-6 ball game. Mitzoer on the mound for the Red Foxes. He deals, swing and a miss, strike 3, ball game over. The Red Foxes win the series. And that's a slider on the outer half. That's strike number 3. Red Foxes get out of the 9th. Don't give up a run. Gets the single, coming to the plate. Standing up, RBI single for Byram Hot. 2-2, 1 out. Swing on a miss. Strike 3. That's out number 2.
To Newblatt. Newblatt hits the ceiling. Matchner serves it up. Is able to do so. It goes out of play. Red Foxes point. Tied at 14. Continuing it up. Almost a double hit on that one. No call. Lewis. Newblatt. Newblatt gets it to go. Newblatt. Have a day. Some pressure on that time. And it's a score! Back of the net! First one of this one. And it's the Red Foxes. Passing it in the middle is Keogh. Gets it back inside. Shot is scored! Another goal by the Red Foxes. Now this time, Keogh has it. Keogh pushing it around to Casey. Casey to Wild. Wild with an opportunity. Another opportunity! That one goes in the back of the net! They tie it at 3. Opportunity for Kwong, passing it over to Stowman in the back of the net. Red Foxes tie it at 3.
Red Sox, who are just above the Blue Jays and the Yankees, 2 games ahead. And then you got Toronto Blue Jays and the Yankees, who are tied for the second wild card spot. But Yankees right now are playing the Texas Rangers, and it's tied 3-3. So that should be definitely interesting to see what happens with the Yankees there. And then a little bit further back, you got the Seattle Mariners and Oakland Athletics, who are playing right now. So those 2 teams are going to keep battling out. So those 2 teams, in my opinion, probably won't be getting in that wild card situation. But when you look at the Red Sox, they're going to have a 3-game series against the Yankees, then a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. Then they got to play Washington, and that's a 3-game series. And then when you look at the Toronto Blue Jays, they play the Twins for a 4-game series. Then they got to play the Yankees 3-game series. And then they got the Baltimore Orioles 3-game series. And then for the Yankees, they actually probably have the toughest schedule amongst the teams here. They got a 3-game series against the Boston Red Sox, 3-game series against Toronto, and 3 games against the Tampa Bay Rays. So Yankees can make up a lot of ground in those games. Sox are kind of similar. I mean, not as good, obviously, but kind of similar to the San Francisco Giants, where they're unexpected to do well, and they're doing very well with some of these players from the minor leagues, stuff like that. And then they add Chris Sale, which is a huge addition for the Red Sox. Bullpen has been a little bit iffy, but Nick Pivetta has really been pitching well for the Red Sox with a 3.48 ERA for the Red Sox, which is really helping them out in the starting rotation. But honestly, the Red Sox are doing well. They're finally unpredictable team. I mean, they're very up and down, but definitely the Red Sox could be getting that wild card spot. And then you got the Blue Jays and Yankees in there too. It's all going to depend on how good the Yankees do in those 2 series. I'd say best case scenario for the Yankees is you win both of those series, and I think not guaranteed, but I think you have a very good chance of making the wild card.
Lillard has the ball in his hands. When you combine Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, it's a little iffy because both of those guys need the basketball. And Damian Lillard is an excellent passer, but the problem is CJ McCollum is not the guy who's going to just shoot the 3. He's going to drive to the basket, try to get easy buckets in. I think, honestly, they're in a transition mode. So with this said, they needed some assets. Damian Lillard was unhappy at times. There was a miscommunication between him and McCollum. So who knows if that was an issue or what was going on there. But you get Josh Hart, you get some first-round picks, you recruit that. If Lillard wants to stay, okay, then you trade some of those assets you got and you get a big name, maybe try to sign someone for agency. Who knows? Get something that Lillard wants. Or if Lillard wants to leave, which personally I think that might happen. I get it, he's loyal, but he wants to win. He's 31, 32 years old. He's starting to get older. He cares about winning championships, not just sitting on a team making so many millions of dollars. He's going to want to win now. You trade Lillard, and then you got assets. You got all these young pieces, and with that trade of McCollum, you got so many young pieces. You get those first-round picks. You add those pieces in that McCollum deal. It's an easier transition if they trade Lillard and get that moving, or Lillard leave, or Lillard stays, and you just recruit those assets and you just get the players that fit Lillard. Because what the Blazers are doing right now is they're looking, Lillard is their guy. Right now, he is their guy. You need to recruit pieces that are going to be around him, not guys that are supplementary. You got to have guys that are going to be able to work off of him. be off ball. CJ McCollum is not that great off ball. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but off ball, he's not there. And I think you get the assets that Lillard wants, and I think that the Blazers are in the right spot with getting some young assets, getting the athleticism that they need in that roster, and I think that's a huge piece of this trade, adding athleticism to the Blazers roster. And I think when you're looking at the primes of Goldschmidt and Arenado, you got to do something. The Cardinals fan base is probably livid because they haven't been to the playoffs in a while. They've had so many disappointing seasons. They're ready to win. They're the second best in World Series championships behind the Yankees at winning. They're frustrated. That's a baseball town. I've been there before. Busch Stadium, it's electric in the postseason. It's a great atmosphere, and they want to win. They got Goldschmidt, Arenado for a reason. They're ready to win. You got to get pitching. You got to get Trevor Story, get some outfield help, and I think they will do it, especially with the new rules in place like you guys mentioned, the DH. The DH is going to be huge, and I think they're going to make a big move. I think it's going to be multiple moves. It's going to be multiple moving pieces, and it's not just going to be, okay, we're trying to trade a prospect. Paul DeJong might be on the move. You're talking about other scenarios of young outfielders going out, trading for a bigger outfielder, and I think the St. Louis Cardinals will go out there once the lockout is done, make some moves, booster that roster, and maybe try to make some things happen next when we come to the MLB baseball season.
First half, Red Foxes off to a hot start, leading by 1 against Notre Dame. What are you expecting them to do in the second half?
Well, it's clear, Derek, John Dunn has constructed a beautiful perimeter defense. Marcus Burton is the channel for everything Notre Dame does on the offensive side of the ball. And where does he go best? He goes best in the paint. And he has not been effective in this late game. He's 5 for 11 on shots. He has been effective overall, but they need to find a way to continue to contain Burton. He has been the proponent of this offense, and if they can find a way to get Burton contained while guarding those wings, those shooter wings, they will be effective for the rest of this game.
Red Foxes defensively, they've only given up 24 points in this one, but from an offensive standpoint, three-point shooting has really just not been there for the Red Foxes. How are they going to be able to adapt in the second half offensively?
Well, who's the best player to start for some three-point shooting for Marist? It's Noah Harris, and he hasn't been involved on the offensive side of the floor at all. Sub him in, get him on iso ball, see if you can get anything going on that three-point shot. I like to see Brickner take a few shots from the three-point ball, but keep getting the ball to Max Allen. He's looked pretty good in these last 5 minutes within the paint. He was 0 for 3 to start. Since then, he's been very effective in the post. He had that nice spin move early to get him to the line. He's been very effective in the low post. They need to get the ball to him, but create some shots on the iso ball and get some shots to Harris and Brickner.
And when you talk about the adjustment of going to the college level, what is that like for you?
You really just can't have an off moment, like say like you're making a mistake or you miss your teammate. It's just like you have to always be on your top game, and because everyone you're playing is the same as you or better. So in high school it's like you can get away with making an athletic play, but here you have to be much smarter. What do you do?
What would you say is kind of your story? Like what makes you you?
So I would say when I was growing up, going through high school, I was always like told by some coaches like, oh, maybe you'll just go D3, like you can shoot. And that always pushed me to be like, I will prove them wrong, you know what I mean? So I just knew from that, like, I don't care if I'm smaller, I'm just gonna work for what I can do. And I knew I loved basketball, so just even getting the chance to play in the summer workouts at Marist, like, it just showed me that I love it so much, and I'm just so happy to be here.
How is it being in year 2 with the new coach? Second year, second coach.
Honestly, at first I was a little nervous because it's kind of like everyone is trying out again, like this new coach, you're trying to impress her. But honestly, everything's worked out really well. I think it was good to get some fresh blood into our program.
When you guys played Bryant this year, I saw in you guys' story, you guys went to the Providence Place Mall that's right by where I live. So what was that kind of like, that team bonding moment?
That was great. I love team bonding. We do that almost every away trip. Our coach is really good about taking us to, different places around where we're going to play just to experience the environment. And that was honestly really fun. We walked around the mall for a little bit. It was really nice. And yeah, hopefully we can go back soon.
Quote Yogi Berra, it gets late early out there.
As Adnan Virk came to Marist, students were certainly going to show up as he discusses about his life and gives his own insight as to what the future generation should know about the sports media world.
If you're passionate about something, don't be dissuaded by it. If you put your head down and work hard at it, you'll be successful on whatever level that may be. You may not reach the lofty goals you set for yourself, but if you're ambitious and you work hard, you'll be more successful than more often than not.
As Adnan Virk discusses what students should learn, the biggest message students received was,
stay persistent, stay with your head to the ground. I mean, like the right opportunity will eventually come to you. But and he did mention how that first job will never be the one that you really want. So just keep being persistent with your job search.
As students got to feel the energy of Adnan Virk, he discusses what he looks for in his own broadcasts.
Clean. What does that mean? I go, just no errors, just factually correct. I didn't stutter, I didn't stumble, I said what I had to say. It was accurate information, it was knowledgeable, smooth, clean.
Once the entire discussion was over, amongst the students and the guest speaker in Adnan Virk and Christopher Rivietzo, Adnan Virk wanted to engage with students afterwards, hearing their own path as many guest speakers have come to Marist. But students were really excited to see Adnan Virk come to Marist as he was able to talk about his lifelong experiences. I'm Derek DeGallo reporting for Com 331. Brock Bogosian coming off a great game versus Valpo, hosting Stetson on Family Weekend. First quarter, just over 10 minutes. Amin Woods, take it to the house, my friend. 67-yard touchdown. Marist's first 200-yard rushing game in 15 years. He tied the program record for most carries in this one since 2018. Under 10 left in the half. Matt O'Connor to the right side. He throws it, dishes it off to Gabe Atkin in the end zone. Touchdown Stetson, tied up at halftime. Third quarter, just under 14 to go. Brock Bogosian flipping it over to Styanchi, taking it to the house. 68-yard touchdown, the longest play of the day. Marist leading 28-21. Daniel Holbrook for Stetson kicking. He gets the 34-yard field goal to go. Stetson, however, not scoring for the rest of this one. Marist would kick 2 late field goals. Marist would win 34-24, with Woods having a career night.
I think he's got to find it here. If I'm him, I'm going up. I'm going high fastball, changing his eye level a little bit. The 1-2 to draw back, and he gets him swinging with the high heat. That's 2 big outs.
She's kind of been, using the corners, using the, the bottom of the zone, all different places, but hasn't really gone to the high fastball so far.
Let's see if she goes to it here, trying to maybe get the hitter to chase it. She's ahead on the count. Here's the pitch. She does do exactly that. Derek, your best Tony Romo impression.
Collins with the basketball. For the Red Foxes, guarded by Burton to Harris. Harris for 3. Yes!
Kenzie Wiggins, the sophomore from Corpus Christi, Texas. And Alyssa White showing up in a big way.
That has been something that we have missed from this whole first set.
Master, I'll tell you what, having a day for the Gales. All over the place. Almost a miscue there. Hits the ceiling. Lewis to Newblatt for the kill! Newblatt does it again!
What was it like getting your first collegiate basket in the first game, home opener against Army?
Honestly, it was very relieving to just see the ball go through the net because you think so much while you're playing sometimes, especially as your first game in college. So just to see the ball go through the net, I was just totally relieved. And after that, I just felt good to shoot.
How are you viewing this season?
This season honestly has been really good and the environment's really good. We've just got a new coach, so everything is looking up for us. We did have a couple games that didn't go our way at the beginning of the season, so now it's crunch time and we're trying to win our last game to make playoffs.
Hazard with movement, and it's going to be a play action. And he's going to throw it over to Hazard for a couple yards. Hazard fights through tackles, and he's off to the races. Hazard down to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, into the end zone, touchdown! Hazard for the Rebels. This time Holland's going to take the pass, take the football, and he's going to pass it over to Nem. Nem breaks 2 tackles, and he breaks that last tackle, and he's going to dive into the end zone for South Kingstown. And that's going to be Chris Nem with a touchdown.
Monroe to Hall. Hall looking for space, giving it back to Monroe, giving it to Shepard, giving it to Howe for 3, and it's good! Rowe to Brown. Brown to Hall. Hall's open for 3, just off the mark. Rebound Shepard. Put back is good! 16 seconds on the shot clock. Cotillier is trying to find someone, giving it over to Hill. Hill is going to give it to Martin. Martin's going to shoot the 3-point shot, and she connects. Now Rebels up by 5. Going to give it over to Martin. Martin's going to look inside to Hill. Hill's going to go up, uses the backboard to her advantage, count it, and a foul.